you my notebook. Said who scored that day, and I've written down who scored and how many they got. So Vass wins and gets the bonus point, 6 points.
Nice.
Sam, how many did you get? Such bias. Sam, how many points did you get? Yeah, nothing,
Screwed by
mate.
the
Did
man.
Ginola score in
Yeah.
that one?
The man doesn't want me to win.
No, he did not. I think, yeah, no, he didn't get.
I'm trying to think of the lineups back then, right? So Sol Campbell was probably in the lineup.
Ed Armstrong, we had Ginola, Vega,
Wes Ferdinand.
Nicola Bird, Alan Nielsen.
I almost gave you the wrong answer, Ches. My mind went back to that Oldham game away, but I can't remember what season that was. That was under our dealers, I think, wasn't it?
That was 93-94.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won 2-0 May 5th at Oldham with Samways and Howells scoring. And then the following week, we lost at home to QPR, last game of the season. We really shit that decade. Anyway, thanks, lads. That's beautiful. Next week, we're going to do the 80s.
Okay.
I might stand a chance.
The
there you go.
1880s.
Well, you're lucky because I'm not on next week, am I?
The Sam Crutch.
Literally, it is the 1880s. That is the subject matter for next week. Our founding decade.
All right, so massive week of trivia coming up. Also a massive week of games coming up. Obviously, Wednesday, the big one against Juventus. Sunday against Bournemouth in the league. Bournemouth and Newcastle. The next two before we head into the bridge. Those are absolute must-wins to continue to make what we did against Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United viable for where we end up in the standings, I believe. These 6 that we've already taken and the 6 that are in front of us are absolute musts going into the bridge. So, Juventus
just
on Wednesday.
a pause. Sorry, mate. I think the Newcastle game's been postponed because of the
it has.
Oh, that's right.
Quarter-final with Swansea. Yeah,
that's right. So Tim's injury update. Juventus. There's a lot of going back and forth between Allegri and what he's actually going to reveal. I think going into this match, Bournemouth as well on the weekend. Tim. We've already talked about the KY jelly. I don't know how much that fixes anything, but what do you got?
Can remedy a lot of things.
Timmy, get out the Bengay. You know what time it is. Groin pull. Deep thigh bruise.
All right, looking at your injuries for the week ahead, as far as Tottenham goes, Toby has re-aggravated the hamstring and is rehabbing. He will not be available for Juve. Jan, on the other hand, is fully fit, was able to play the match this past weekend. And then Dembele may have picked up a bit of a knock against Huddersfield. He signaled to the bench for a sub, but did stay on for almost 15 minutes. After the match, Pochettino said that they'll just have to wait and see. They know nothing at this time. So when they give their pre-match presser for the Juve match, we'll probably learn a little more then. At this time, we do not know. For Juve, they have 3 players who are out for sure. Federico Bernardeschi is out and possibly requiring season-ending surgery. Juan Cuadrado recently had surgery last month on a groin issue. And Mattia De Siglio is out with a hamstring. So that's their right back is out. They'll need to replace him. Keep an eye on Gonzalo Higuain. He did not recover from his ankle issue to be able to face Lazio this past weekend, but he is working back on fitness, so I guess we'll know a little bit more on the pre-match pressers. I would not be surprised if he misses this match, though. Unfortunately, they do have some star players back fit that were not able to play in the first leg. Paulo Dybala is back again. He started against Lazio. He had the injury time winner in the 93rd minute. Blaise Matuidi is back, played full 90 minutes against both Atalanta and Lazio since our last Champions League match. So those 2 players are back and fit. Mario Mandzukic picked up a knock in training on Friday before the Lazio match, but was still able to start and play 72 minutes. So it looks like those 3 are back. Higuain's really the only one to be keeping an eye on at this point. And looking forward to the weekend, Bournemouth, they only have 1 player out. That's Tyrone Mings. with a back injury. Everyone else is fully fit. And those are your injuries looking forward to the week ahead.
Nothing from Spurs? Dembele's good?
I said I did Spurs first.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I was typing. Never mind. Thanks, Timmy. I'll fix that.
If I could give you a gift on this pod recording, you know what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is with the shake of the head. Yeah, I got you.
Chris Tucker, not Chris Rock like Vass body. Chris Tucker.
I keep getting them confused.
Yeah. All right. Tucker, so Juventus at Wembley obviously is the big one this week. Allegri has come out with some early comments saying we wanted to come out away from Rome with a positive result, and that's what we've got. Talking about his match here this past week, he told Mindset Premium they defended themselves very well and knew it was going to take something special to beat them. Yes, that special moment came from Paulo. He is, as Tim just alluded to, his 93rd minute winner. He's such a great young player, and we're happy that he scored. Tottenham are different compared to Lazio. They don't defend as well. This will certainly help our confidence as we have to be good and a little bit lucky on Wednesday. So Allegri firing some early shots, talking about Tottenham's defending. Kind of interesting, Simon, in that we sort of ran them off their own park not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a tough game. I mean, nice to go into the match with the 2 away goals, but they only have to score 1 for us to be chasing it. And the fine balance there is we only have to score 1 for them to be chasing it. So you reset the clock. Obviously, if it ends up being a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw, we're through. So we clearly have the advantage, but whoever gets that first goal is going to be critical to the outcome of the game.
Yep. Sam, J Rivera at JRiv_03, as well as it kind of combines with the second question we have here. THFC 1976 at THFC since 76, and I believe that is Jason from.
That's Jason from.
Yeah.
Last
word. So great to have him asking a question. They have a kind of a combined question here. So Jay Rivera asks Sam, will Rose play against Juve? And what Jace is asking is, have a good one, guys. What's the team versus Juve? What's your thoughts on that?
If you would have told me that Ben Davies would have been as consistently good as he has been this year, I would have told you you're mad. I'm not going to be surprised at all if Davies starts. The one thing about him is that whereas he may not have the sort of speed that Rose has, or maybe some of the athleticism, he's become a very, very defendable or dependable left back. And I think where the weaknesses that he has, I think his intelligent play with his center back partner has been very, very good. So that won't surprise me there. I'm not sure that Rose has been the better recently of the two. So I'll give Davies the nod. As far as the rest of the team, I think what we said earlier in terms of having Son and Kane and Dele and kind of keeping what the lineup that we had Huddersfield, that'll be the key. I mean, the big question mark will be, will Musa be injured or not? But obviously, if he's fit, he's going to be the stalwart there. His partner there, I mean, Dyer was his partner this week, right? And I would assume that would be the same. You'll keep Sanchez and you'll keep Jan in the middle, and then you'll have Davies, and I'm assuming Trippier is going to get the nod. Trippier had the nod in the away leg at Juve, right?
Well, Aurier's out. He's suspended, so it has to be Trips.
Oh, is it really?
Unless it's going to be
pick up a yellow.
Why is Aurier
Kenny's
suspended?
favorite, the KY Jelly, comes in.
He picked up the yellow in the last match against Juve, and that was his second in the tournament.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah,
okay.
it's between Trips or Kyle Walker-Peters. That's your choice.
Then that's obviously true. Trippier. Yeah, I don't think you did any major departures from the lineup that we had at Huddersfield. But I just can't go back. Go ahead.
Are you nervous to see Trips against Sandro?
No, because we have this debate every time.
Yeah, I mean, we do.
About these fullbacks against pacey wide men and what have you, but
they get picked up really well. I mean, I think we have this sort of team defending ethos, and I think the center backs understand the limitations that the fullbacks have, and I think there's really good cohesion. And look, that's not to say that I mean, Trippier's just his pure physical stature alone can render him to get torched by somebody. But I think those weaknesses could be picked up by a center back.
Yeah, if that is a concern, I think it's one reason why the other selection dilemma, if you like, for Wednesday will come down to whether it's going to be Lamela or Son that's starting.
Mm-hmm. Has to be Son.
Well, yeah, you say that, but then if you play Lamela on the right with Trippier, there's more coverage there. Yeah, and it's going to be a consideration. Of course, we'd all love Son to start because he offers us something going forward. And if we think that Juventus are going to be coming on to us, we might play them the way we did against Borussia Dortmund and also Real Madrid and hit them on the counter. And then that's when Son will have a role to play. But if we're going to be a bit mindful of how Juventus turn up and we want some additional defensive coverage, then he may yet go with Lamela.
Would you fault him to be the aggressor?
No, I wouldn't fault him.
To be the aggressor? To just say, fuck it, you know what, we're not going to sit back here. I mean, is there a hazard with that mentality? That,
Fault who?
I'm just saying, would you fault him if he started Son and we sort of took the mentality that we're going to take?
No, I think either way works. And I mean, Tim just said that Dybala's back, Matuidi's back, and they missed those guys. I mean, Dybala is a fantastic young player, full of creativity. And they missed, in fairness, Matuidi in the game in Turin because he's pretty much their version of, I don't know, Dembele, Wanyal. Yeah. So
has he been that good?
Absolutely.
He's so good. That's where I see the big difference in this match is Matuidi's back, because you could say you put in Dybala for Higuain, and Higuain was so good in that first leg that I don't really see much difference in that. If Dybala plays really well, then that's what Higuain did. So, you just swap them out for each other. But Matuidi is what they really miss. You put him and Khedira next to each other in the midfield, that's going to be hard to break down. I mean, lucky for us, we don't have to break it down and get that goal to win. But it's going to be a completely different game. We had all that possession in the first leg. I don't think you get that with Matuidi in the midfield.
It's going to pose some interesting questions, and maybe more so less about the lineup, but the style of play. Jers, do you go at this the same way you went at them the first time, play narrow, press the shit out of them, or do you sit back in a 4-2-3-1? Obviously, Voigt is not in the squad because Lamela took that spot, and with Toby out, you're going to play a 4-2, at least 4 at the back, probably 2-3-1 up front. Do you press them, or do you sit back and counter and absorb some pressure from Juventus?
Well, having not seen the first match, I'm clearly looking forward to watching this one. But I think we have to sit back, almost like the Dortmund home game. I was scratching my head at first at how deep we were defending and letting them come at us and then breaking. But obviously that was the game plan, and it paid dividends for us. So if that is Juve's style, then certainly that's what we've got to go for, because I think we are very, very dangerous playing that format. However, we certainly can't put ourselves in a position like we did in the last match by going down 2 early goals. We've got to make sure we stand firm in the box, because this is a team that's going to play to that, particularly when their managers come out and said that we don't defend well. I think we've got to hold that nerve and stay steady and break from there. However, if that's not getting us where we need to, they're going to continue to push. If it's a stalemate deep in the second half, i.e. 0-0, where that single goal from either team can decide to tie.
Yeah. So after that comment on, we don't defend well, that Allegri said, I want to give a shout out to @WeAreTottenhamTV. He kind of ran the comparison between Lazio's defense and our defense. Mm-hmm. So Lazio's played 27 matches, conceded 34 goals, and had 8 clean sheets, whereas we have played 29 matches, conceded 10 fewer goals, 24, and we've had 6 more clean sheets at 14. So he's going on there saying we don't defend as well. Well, I mean, Clearly, he
doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I think that's just going to be fuel to the fire. I think the players are going to know. I mean, obviously, Pacha's going to make them aware of this statement. They're going to know about it. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be out there to prove a point. And I don't think we're